Good morning, everybody. It is Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter. It is Sunday, June 1st, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm doing something a little different this week. I am doing my Monday live tutorial on Sunday because I'm going away next week and I am just not going to be around for live streams. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kate. I am a I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada on Vancouver Island in East Souk. So today I am going to share a very beautiful card that I made for a swap yesterday at a little crafting event up island. And this card design is definitely swap worthy. It is really beautiful and easy to make. So I'm quite excited to share it. I have made this card for my most recent in-person class. So if you've joined me at an in-person event, then you know what we're making today. And if you were at the crafty event yesterday, then you know exactly what I'm doing as well. Hey Carissa, hello Kate. Happy Sunday to you as well. So this is super simple. Really fun, really pretty, and I can probably do this card in my sleep now because I think this will be the 13th card I've made in this design, and I'm not getting tired of it. You'll see why. All right, so I will be using the beautiful butterfly stamp set, and I'm just going to use this little texture stamp out of this set. And then, of course, my current favorite sentiment stamp set, The Right Words. I will be using 2 coordinating sentiments from this set as well. My blending brush. And let's go through the measurements. All right, so I've got a fresh Freesia card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch side. That is your basic card base. If you're brand new to stamping and you don't know how to make your own card bases, please send me a message or comment in the comments below, and I'll send you a very short video on how easy it is to make your card bases. Hey Kathy, thanks for tuning in. All right, basic black. Excuse me. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Hang on a second. Sorry if that's loud because I've got my Apple earbuds in and they act like a little microphone. So if I cough, like I have concerns that it's really loud in your ear. So I'm sorry. Oh, Carissa, you are just the sweetest. You're my sweetest, weirdest friend. You're my favorite. Hi, Beverly. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So here is a piece of designer series paper. This is from the Floral Impressions pack, and it is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I've got a piece of basic white and fresh Freesia, and these are both 3 7/8 by 2 3/4. Basic white for the inside of the card. 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then I went ahead and I fussy cut some floral images out of the Floral Impressions designer series paper, and we're going to use that to jazz up the front of the card. I'm just going to get these out of the way because I know I'm going to knock them off or lose them. All right. Well, hello, Karen from Ottawa. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of stamping on our basic white. That's 3 7/8 by 2 3/4. I almost forgot. I shouldn't forget. I've made this card so many times. So I'm going to stamp the sentiment first, just in my Tuxedo Black, and I'm using the Sending Good Vibes sentiment. I'm stamping this in the bottom left, leaving about 3/4, 1/2 inch from the edge. And actually, nope, I'm going to close that up. And then I have got my little texture stamp from the beautiful butterflies stamp set. And I am going to add a little bit of this just in the top right and the bottom left corner. Like so. That's it. So I don't need my bubble bath ink anymore. I'm just going to get this out of the way. And now what we're going to do is the fault line technique. You may have seen this before. I have done a fault line technique before on one of my lives. I can't remember when. It's quite easy and it's very pretty. So stack your two pieces of cardstock together because you want the tear to be the same. And then what we're going to do is tear in the middle, but at a slight angle. So we're just going to tear across the middle of this cardstock. So line up your paper, right? And then just start tearing. So I just kind of go back and forth a little bit just to give it more of a frayed paper edge. And I don't want to tear it too close to the bottom because, well, you'll see why. We'll get there. So you want to do it down the middle, but at a very slight angle. Alana, thanks for tuning in. You are not late. We're just getting started. All right, so now we've got our paper torn in half, and what we're going to do is we're going to glue these pieces together, but you're going to let your coordinating cardstock pop through, and it's called the fault line technique because the tear is the same because we stacked the paper together when we tore it. So the edges of the paper are going to line up. They're going to be the same, mostly. They might be a little bit off, but you know what I mean. So just leave about 1/4 of an inch peeking through. Hello, JT from Costa Rica. Well, that sounds like a fun place to be. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the bottom of my, darn it. I should have checked this before I started the live. My glue is at the end of its life and it likes to get clogged up. So I just have a little paper clip. It's super gooey. I probably need a new one. I unfold it. I tuck it away in my little glue holder. And then whenever my glue jams up, I use it to unclog and it works like a charm. But I know I'm almost ready for a brand new glue. Aileen from Cornwall. I hope I'm saying your name right. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I'm just leaving about 1/4 of an inch difference when I overlap these two pieces. So I've got my fresh Freesia coming through just like so. Just going to give that a little press and let that stick. Do the same thing with the other two pieces. So you can add your glue to your white if you want, if that's easier for you. I just find that because I've made these so many times, it works easier for me if I put a little bit of glue on my bottom layer, leaving some space for that overlap. But whatever works for you guys. So just line them up, stick them together like so. Ellen from North Dakota, thanks for tuning in. I wasn't too sure if many people were going to be tuning in today because this is quite different. I usually go live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. Pacific time, but I am jumping on the ferry tomorrow morning and making my way over to the mainland for a work trip. So I will be not doing any lives. I tried before to take all my things with me and do lives from my hotel room, but the internet connection is quite unstable. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to bump up Monday's live to Sunday morning, see what happens. And then for the June card class at home, normally we would kick that off Thursday evening. But I have to give up on this glue. Hang on. Thursday's kickoff for the card class at home will be pushed back to Friday and Friday morning, I think. So I haven't committed. I actually haven't designed anything yet, so that will be on my to-do list for later today. Get a project ready for our kickoff for the June card class at home. Mary Ellen, hello from Montana. JT, I agree. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. Sarah, I like the fault line too. It's handy. Okay, so I'm gluing down the DSP into the middle of that black layer. So we've got a very skinny little border on each side of our paper. And then we've got a big fat border or a wider border at the top and bottom. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue our two little fault line pieces to the top and the bottom, and try to get your border to match up with the side borders on your pattern paper. So you're going to want to have that skinny little border at the bottom and at the top. And this was the reason why we needed to tear our paper down the middle at a very slight angle, because you didn't want to get it too skinny at the bottom. Otherwise, you might have a gap between your patterned paper and the black layer. All right, so I'm just gluing this down on the very, oops, it slid, on the very bottom. This is why I love Tombow. I can wiggle it around. All right, so now our bottom looks like this. We're going to do the exact same on the top. And now I am officially out of Tombow glue, so I'm going to have to put an order in ASAP, because I don't like to not have a new bottle waiting in case of emergencies. So that'll be on my list of things to do. However, I'm going to wait. I think it's on the 3rd. There's a new promotion coming up on Stampin' Up. So if you're a demonstrator, you probably already know this. If you're not a demonstrator, then maybe this is new news to you. I'm just adding a tiny little bit of glue here because I didn't get enough glue on this, and I've got this piece popping up, and that's going to drive me crazy. All right, top and bottom are glued down. We match this to the front of the card. So for the promotion for this month starts, I believe, Tuesday, June 3rd, and it is a buy one suite, get another suite at 50% off. So it's kind of complicated because oftentimes suites aren't available because maybe the gems are sold out, or maybe the ribbons sold out, or the stamps that are the dies, and then you actually can't get a suite. So for this promotion, it's suites or suite products. So for example, what I really want to get is the Boho Vibes suite and the Celebratory Sips suite, but the stamps are sold out for the Boho Vibes. But I can order the dies for the Boho Vibes and then order the dies for the Celebratory Sips, and I will get that second die at 50% off. So if it's stamps, ink, paper that is in a suite, then that's going to apply to the buy one, get one 50% off. It's just got to be a suite item. So if you're looking at paper that's in a suite, or stamps, or ribbon, or what else would be in there? Dies, right? You can use that promotion to buy one, get one at 50% off. So I did want to get the whole suite for Boho Vibes and Celebratory Sips, but I can't because the stamps are sold out. So, but I will get the dies, and that's going to be, I'm still getting a better deal, right? I'm still getting a better deal because I'm going to get one at 50% off, and then I'll get the rest of the suite items when I can. So I'll probably get the Designer Series papers for the Boho Vibe suite and the Celebratory Sips, and also get the dies. And then once the stamps are back in stock, then I'm going to get those. I hope that makes sense. So if you have any questions about it, just send me a message and I'll fill you in. So now what I'm going to do is I've got my little blending brush. I'm picking up some fresh Freesia, and I'm taking a little bit of that ink off in the bottom of my ink pad so it's not too heavy when I start blending the color on the paper. If you caught my last live stream, I did this as well. So all I'm going to do is add a little bit of color right to the inside of my inside layer, just for added visual interest. So you don't have to do this. This is totally optional, but I do think it's a really pretty touch, and it doesn't take much to do. So I've just added a tiny little bit of fresh Freesia color. I hope you can see that. It's like a little pink cloud. And then I've got my coordinating sentiment for sending good vibes. So the reason you can tell they're coordinating, I think I've talked about this before, but as you can see, there's lots of different fonts in this stamp set. For example, the happy birthday, it's got this font, and then this sentiment here says, to someone we're celebrating every day. These two are the same font, so they go together in theory, right? So that's what I think is so clever about the Right Words stamp set, is that you can easily see which sentiments go together and put one on the outside and throw the other one on the inside. Well, hello, Tanya. Tanya Sousa is in the house. For those of you who don't know Tanya, she is the Canadian stamper. She went live just before I did, and she shared her project from yesterday's swap, which is one of my favorites. So I'm going to show you guys the swatch. I'm going to put the bag right beside me so I don't forget. So I'm just inking up my sentiment in my Tuxedo Black. I'm going to add that right to the middle, right over that little cloud of fresh freesia. Brandy, you keep a paper clip on your desk now too. I know, it's kind of a handy glue declogger. So you can't go wrong, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I seem to have paper clips in all corners of my house. I don't even know. I don't even know. Hi, Carol from Minnesota. Thanks for tuning in. So, anywho, there's lots of things happening with Stampin' Up. I've talked a lot about the virtual retreat. I am signed up and ready to go. Tanya, the Canadian stamper, mentioned that she's thinking about it, which got me super excited. And then my brain started working because I hear a lot about crops, and I've never done a crop. And my understanding of a crop is that people just show up with the craft supplies in a shared space, spend the day together, craft away at whatever they're working on, and visit and probably have snacks, because you know how I feel about snacks. Anyway, so for the virtual retreat, I've been mentioning that if you are my customer or if you're on my team and you sign up for the virtual retreat, then you're going to get a little crafty gift from me. Anyway, so now what I'm thinking is that depending how many people join, it would be really fun to host a crop where we can get together and work on our scrapbooking. So let me know if you're thinking about joining the virtual retreat, if you're local to me, and we'll talk more about it. And Tanya, of course, if you get the kit, you're coming to the swap. Robin, thanks for tuning in. We did have a good day. All right, so I've glued the inside layer to the inside of the card. And now what I'm going to do is just pop up some of these flowers that I've gone ahead and fussy cut out. Hello, Debbie. You're watching some travel ball and doing a little paper crafting. Fun. All right. So let me see. I've got my dimensionals. And I know exactly what I'm doing because like I said, I've done 13 of these cards already. So I know where I'm putting these flowers. I'm not even going to think about it. They're just going down. Oh, Carissa, I know, right? I know. You know what you have to do? And I'll help you if you want to do it. But I think you have to create a crafting community out east, a sister crafting community, and get that going. Okay, this is going to sound cheesy. I know everybody's probably heard this from a field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. I think you need it. I think you need it out there. And then you can align with any events that we do out here. And if you think you might want to do that, I'm your girl. I will talk you through it. I will help you. I would love that for you because I do think about you when we get together. And I know you have FOMO, and we have FOMO without you. All right, 3 down, 3 little flowers down, and I'm going to add 1 more flower. So I put my dimensional right in the middle of this pink flower, and I'm going to take my leaf, and I'm actually adding this to the bottom of the dimensional, so the leaf isn't the same height as the flower itself. It's just a very subtle little technique you can do that I think adds a little bit. Yes, Carissa, you have to people. That's the whole point. You have to people. Oh my goodness. Hi, Leanne. Yes, I know. I am early because I'm going away this coming week for work, and I'm not going to be around for lives on Monday or Thursday night. So I'm early this morning, and I'm going to be doing my June card class kickoff on Friday, probably in the morning as well, instead of Thursday evening. So I've got some brand new gems. These are the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. They are, I think, my favorite gems that have come out. I love them. You know, Chris, I'm still kind of chuckling about your comment about having to people. It's so funny. You're so funny. Okay. Sometimes peopling is fun, you know? I think we all had a really good time yesterday. All right, I'm just going to add one more gem right about there. And there we go. Here is our card for today. So sometime next week, I'm going to put a really short tutorial in my page that will have the measurements right in the tutorial. So super easy if you want to save that for future crafting. That is coming. It's recorded. I just have to put it together and put some text into the video. All right, now let's go through some swaps. Let's see. There's a lot of things happening. Where's my favorite? Here it is. All right, so Tanya, the Canadian Stamper, if you haven't checked out her page, do it. The Canadian Stamper, she goes live usually every Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. But today was an anomaly because we were busy yesterday. So here is the card that Tanya made for the swap, and she did demonstrate this on her live today. And if you sign up for her newsletter, I think you can find it on her page. I could be wrong. Tanya, if I'm wrong, throw it in the comments. She sends out the measurements for the cards that she does live. So here's her gorgeous card, and now I have to have the celebratory sips bundle. That's how that goes. All right, what else? So let's see, I didn't take any of these out of the plastic, but I'll give you a peek of some of the cards that we got in the swaps. Now, some people added their names, so I don't know who made this. Some people did not. This was done by Kathy Newman. This is gorgeous. Kathy, this is gorgeous. All right. I love it. Miran made this one. And my friend Jackie McAllister made this one, and she also included these little files, so you can do her technique where she kind of rubbed filed off some of the color on her waves, which is so clever. So that was really fun. It's like getting a little goodie bag in your swaps, right? All right, so again, I don't know who all made everything. It just depends if they added their names to the cards, but this is Shirley Phillips. That's really pretty as well. Miran. And I've got a couple more. What are they? And Karen C. So there we go. There's more, but they're in a mess on the bed. There's a couple 3D projects that Tanya shared on her page, which I think are still in my car. How embarrassing. I haven't even unpacked my car. But I got to pack up and get ready to go to my work trip today. So I've got lots of things to do. All right, I'm flipping the camera around. Don't judge my mess. There we go. All right, yeah. I live in mess in my craft room because it's actually my spare room. And this is the bed where people are supposed to sleep, but it's littered with craft supplies. However, my husband has got started on doing a little bit of renovating. He's painted the closet doors and the inside of the closet. I've got some storage in there, like a bookshelf and some Amazon shelves, where I've got most of my craft supplies. And then sometime, hopefully this summer, we're going to paint this room, and it's going to look really good. And he's motivated because when he comes in this room, he gets kind of stressed out because he's thinking about when company comes to stay and then where are they going to sleep because they have such a mess. Like, I'll clean it up if we get company, clearly. So anyway, he's motivated to make this room a better space in hopes that I'm going to be more organized and cleaner. Spoiler alert, I'm not. It's still going to be a mess. All right. So There we go. Here is today's project. I love it. I hope you guys love it. So if you make this card using the fault line technique with any paper stamps you have, it does not have to be floral. I'm just floral obsessed. Please post a picture in the comments because I really love to see what you make. So I'm going to post a photo of this card in my page a little bit later today with the link to the YouTube replay for anybody who missed it. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can find the measurements for this card in the video description and the supplies that I used as well. But you don't have to use the supplies I use. You can use whatever you have in your stash. But if you do want to use the supplies I've used and you live in Canada, you can order those supplies from me and you are going to get a little crafty gift from me, which is the card kits for my monthly card class at home. And this month, starting on Friday, will be Florals in Bloom. So I'm going to get designing. I've missed comments. I'm going to go back in the comments. I'm going to read your comments. I'm going to say hello. And do check out the Canadian Stampers Facebook page and see how she made this pretty little card. She's my buddy. All right. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see everybody live again on Friday. Have a great day.